Truck frame updates. Boom! Motor, train, transfer case. Lift done. Wheels and tires done. And then, per your normal weekend, not weekend, Big Nate, what are you doing?
Right now?
Yep. What are we doing?
Why?
Look at this beautiful thing Nate drug into our shop.
Huh?
Is this not the coolest truck we've ever seen in here? Nate, what are you doing?
I am helping components fall off that make it breathe more better to do the more power things.
More power things.
More power, baby.
And we all know Nate's about mo power.
I'm all about the more power, baby.
And then Weber's down there doing Weber things. We don't even know. Weber's probably out smoking because all of this has given him anxiety. He needs one. He needs one of the. He's out there right now. Just. He's a. It's what time is it? It's like 11
Un momento. 10:45
on a Monday, and it's been a Monday. And
the whole thing.
we got rigs stuck at work. We had to winch things out. We did a whole bunch of jobs. We did work at Sample's house. I've been up till 2 every day for the last 5 days. We got a bunch of semi stuff to do. Nate decided he needed to do a midweek truck full build for some reason for some people. But for real, it's not the sickest Fortune Dodge.
Dude, it's so clean.
I'm in love. I'm in
So clean.
all the love. So as soon as Nate gets his extracurricular activities and dollars out of my way, tomorrow I'm going to try and put that back underneath that. And that's our update for the week. So I haven't posted in forever. Updates. I've been super busy. Me and Sample were driving a semi to Tennessee Friday at 3 in the morning, and it is Monday. So I have a lot of work to do on the semi before then, and the Sample's moving out of the house, and we're helping do that. So we have a lot of things going on. But
He needs so much time to get ready in this kid.
so much time. He does things. He's a busy man.
I know it's busy, but I mean, it's like you guys are running out of the days.
He's running out of the days. We're running out of the
I
days.
was gonna say, you're part of that, man.
Weber just gets roped into everything. Look at him. It's a classic, good-looking man. I'm gonna go. Nate went and got Subway and left us here and cookies. So I'm gonna go eat cookies. But that's your Monday update. All right, y'all. Frame's done. Fuel tank's back in. All the wiring's hooked back up, and the ground straps are on. We have got the cab up in the air. Bed's ready to go back in. So what I'm gonna do right now is clear out this stuff over here. I'm gonna go get the frame, roll it under, drop the cab down onto it. Hopefully have the cab hooked back up tonight. Back into all the stuff on here and the wiring harness and block and everything put back in for the fuse box and the battery in it. And hopefully I can stay up late tonight and get most of that put back together so that I can start this hopefully tomorrow. I just need to put the core support and the radiator in. Putting the cab on should go pretty straightforward. So I'm gonna go jump up and do this right now, and I'll check back in. All right, sweating here. Push the frame over, got it on wheel dollies, and got it situated to where I think I'm gonna have to take some time and just kind of slowly let the body down. I don't want to hurt anything. So it'll probably take me 20-30 minutes of shoving the frame back and forth. But it's ready to be set back down. I obviously got it sitting quite a bit forward right now because I want to kind of drop down around the motor with the motor pushed away and then just kind of shove the frame back under the firewall and land it on the pads. They're pretty easy to find. You can see clearly underneath. I just had to get some cables out of the way. I'm gonna go through real quick and just double check everything's clearing. And then I'll just stand down like this and look underneath and slowly get it down onto the mounts. Once it lands on the body mounts, just throw them back together and we're dialed. See how it goes. Well, there it is. The cab is on and mounted. Chital lift kit turned out sick. It looks like a truck again. I'm gonna put it up in the air here in a couple hours and throw the rest of the lines and wires and brake lines and all that stuff back, or the emergency brake cables and all that stuff back on it. And then I'll throw the back bumper back on, and then I think I'll just swing, see if I can find a good picking point for the lift and pick the bed up myself and then back the truck under and put the bed back on tomorrow. But tonight I want to get the core support and electrical and fuel lines and all that stuff in and hooked up and try and fire it back up. So late night tonight. Like I said, if I could, I'll try and put that on there, but realistically I just really want to get the wiring loom and the radiator and core support and all that in. But it's down. The lift is on the ground, the body is in, the body mounts are in and bolted. It took me about 25 minutes from start to finish to put the body on. Now I just need to plug all this back in to here, all this and all these lines. That'll take me a few hours, and then throw the battery back in it, see if she cranks up, and get myself a truck back. It's alive! Dude, we have a running truck again. Look at that. Look at that. It fired right off and then died and then fired right back up. It didn't even like need a ton of priming. Check it out. There it is. Back to a running, driving truck. Thursday night even. So all we gotta do is throw the bed on it tomorrow night. Shoo yeah. Look at that thing purring like a kitten. So Thursday night truck updates. We did some work off camera. Me and Sample came up here. I had set the body on it yesterday and bolted the mounts down and hooked up some wires. We did roll the frame underneath it, set the body down, bolted it on, hooked up all the wires, and I had it ready to fire up tonight. I just needed some coolant. So I ran after work and got some coolant. Everyone in my house has been sick. It's been a crazy 2 weeks. Me and Sample have been to Tennessee and back with a semi. Unloaded some stuff at his house and came back, so I haven't had time to make some videos. But I'm going to give you an update on what's going down right now. This is how the truck is sitting right now. So we got all the parts laid out, need to go on the front end. The bed is ready to go back on. We're going to do it tomorrow. The hood and the new fenders are ready to be painted. We just need to start knocking them down and fitting them. They're all straight. Got the bumper laid out. So what we did tonight was we got the truck back up to we'll see what happens here, but we got it back up to running and driving conditions. So we got all the power's back on. The radiator hooked up tonight. We mocked a fender on it. I think it's looking pretty good. The height turned out pretty well. So what I did off camera was we set this back on there and then just plugged in all the wiring and the radiator and the hoses. This crazy Chevy battery setup with all this wild stuff that we showed you unhooking the other videos. Pretty much straightforward. I didn't really need to film a bunch of it. We went through and just put the body back on really carefully, just like we took it off, and then it's 6 mounts down the side bolts, and then the 2 front core support bolts. Pretty straightforward. They lock in place. They're easy to work on. But as the truck sits right now, the lift's installed. Everything's tight. Everything works. Like I said, clicker's back to working, and as it sits right now, tonight, it is back to a running truck. So, it took me about 25 or 35 minutes or so I just wheeled the frame that was sitting over there last week. I came home from work, the kids were sick, we were out to make dinner. I just ran out here, wheeled the frame over on wheeled ollies like I did last time, stuck underneath, lowered the cab down, routed all the brake line, all that stuff, and just hooked it back up, e-brake, shift linkage, that sort of thing. So now we are back to a running truck, which is amazing. So hopefully tomorrow night, like I said, we can throw the bed back on, and once we get the bed back on, we can start fitting and finishing the body panels. So right now this is just temped up here, but we got to go through and set the gaps, make sure everything's working, get the hood opening, closing, and then once we're happy with that, the old man, me, will take it down to the shop, knock the fenders and the hood down, and then he can work his magic and paint, which is something I hate that he's good at. So I will relinquish that power to him. But I'll go over in depth in the next video more of what we did here, because I'm going to be pulling the front clip back off. So I will pull this back off when we shoot it, and I'll kind of clean up all of this and go over what I did here. But as of right now, I couldn't be more happy with the way the stance of the truck is. The tires aren't sticking out too far. Like I said, we mocked this fender up just to kind of see. And these 20 by 12 -4.4 offset wheels, I thought were going to be sticking out quite a bit. And to be honest, they don't stick out barely at all. So pretty happy with how that worked. Now it's just a matter of figuring all the front end stuff back out, which, you know, no matter how many times you do it, it's always a nightmare. You got to figure out where wires go, where clips go, where, you know, routing everything back to its proper position. I like everything sanitary and back to normal. So I'm going to clean the rest of that out tomorrow, organize this area, stick the bed back on, and then it's a matter of just mocking up parts, you know, mocking up body panels, which is tedious. But it has to be done, and it's got to look perfect. You can't have weird gaps and stuff. You don't want people to know that the truck's been hit. You don't want people to just walk right up and be like, oh, so you can punch in the front and look at how tight the fender gap is to the door. So we'll take our time on that in the next couple days. But that's your update as of right now. We're getting dang close to getting this truck finished. So all we got to do, probably in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we'll get it all painted and put back together. And then it's the process of going through state patrol inspection to get it back on the road. I'm just going to go down and get a pile of paper tags, 15-day permits, and I'm going to start driving it. As soon as I can get back in this thing and start driving it, I'm going to be driving it. So I'm very excited to get it on the road. I can't wait to get outside tomorrow and actually see what it looks like with the bed on it. And I'll do another video for that. This will all be in the YouTube, probably part 3 or 4. And then you can always follow on Instagram. There's a story linked to this truck in the feed. You can just watch the whole build process. So be sure to check that out too. And that's it. That's all I got for tonight.